Hey, what's up guys? So today I have an unboxing of 4 new puzzles. One is actually non-WCA, and these are all of course from the cubicle.us. So first off in this package is the new XingHen mirror blocks. So as you can see, there is a lot of different colors. I got just the regular old mirror version, but there is like blue, green, yellow, cool colors. So getting into the turning, it is very effortless and smooth. However, this isn't really new for a mirror blocks. I do own a different one, a SunPak, and it turns pretty much the same as this puzzle. So I was just interested in seeing if the pieces were any different. But once removing a piece, it honestly didn't look that different from the one I already have. The corner cutting, however, is pretty good on this puzzle, and I would say it definitely exceeds the corner cutting on my SunPak. But in all honesty, there's very few differences between this and other ones, so I think in the end it'll come down to which one's the cheapest, and at the current moment I don't know what this costs. So moving right along into the new XingHen 4x4, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, but this is part of the new budget line by XingHen. The absolute very first thing you could possibly notice when taking this puzzle out of the box would be its frosted pieces. Not only can you feel it, but you can also see it. So as compared to just a regular stickerless puzzle, you can see that it definitely reflects the light far less, which is actually one of the 4 reasons why XingHen said that they did this in the first place, the other 3 being that it avoids scratches, fingerprints, and then you can feel the texture. Then the actual shades of the pieces themselves are a lot lighter than your typical stickerless puzzle, which will definitely take a little bit to get used to. So as far as first turns go, this puzzle is definitely a little bit sandy out of the box. It was almost as if the internal pieces were kind of frosted as well, so when you turned it, it was like the 2 frosted parts are rubbing, making it kind of sandy. It also took a lot of effort in order to turn specifically the inner layers, but the puzzle in general. I realized shortly after that the puzzle was super duper tight, so I did take a screwdriver to it and loosen it up a bit. And after doing this, the turning did become a little easier to do. However, it also created a new problem, which was locking. It seemed a lot more locky once it was kind of looser, so we'll just have to see after lubing and tensioning what this puzzle's full potential is. But so far I would say I think there is some better budget puzzles out there, but I also don't know the price of this, so all of these factors will definitely have to come in play when I make the review. And this all kind of leads me into what I believe is the new XingHen 2x2 budget puzzle. Just like the 4x4 out of the box, you immediately can tell that this does have that frosted surface again. Same reasons I'm assuming that they used for the 4x4 that they used for this. Now getting into the actual turning on this 2x2, I was expecting it to be a lot similar to the 4x4. However, this is very loud and clanky, and it does have speed to it. So the 4x4 wasn't fast at all, but this 2x2 definitely has some speed to it. It does kind of carry over that slightly sandy feeling, but it's a lot more subdued than on the 4x4. Now there were some locks here and there, but that's probably a combination of the cube, my turning, and the fact that this hasn't been lubed or tensioned yet, which I'm definitely going to have to do. Now moving along into the last cube, I'm going to be completely honest in saying that I had no idea what exactly it was. However, upon investigating, it is in fact the Guan Zinghen 2x2, and it is the magnetic version. Out of the box, you could kind of tell that there was a bit of weight to it, but it was really nothing overwhelming. Obviously, it's because of the magnets. Now, the turning on this puzzle is insane. The lubing that they did to it most definitely amplified the smoothness of the puzzle. Not only could you feel it, but you could also hear it because this is quieter than the original version that I got back in December. One thing to note though is that this puzzle without the magnets is very fast, and that's personally something that I absolutely loved. I love fast cubes, and it was definitely a trait about it that I loved. However, with these magnets, it's definitely slowed the puzzle down. I'm not saying this is bad, it's just different. So if you've tried the original and you love it because of its speed, you do lose some of that here. However, what you gain from these magnets is of course more stability, and with stability, sometimes you do lose the speed. Now, I do not compete in 2x2 any longer in competition. However, I will say that when I go to do relays, or if I just feel an inkling to solve a 2x2, I do think this is the one I'm going to reach for. So this cube does have a steep price of $32, but you get the lubing, the tensioning, the magnetization, the stickering, so you're getting a lot for that $32. It's just up to you to decide if it's worth it, in your opinion. So if you have any questions at all about any of these puzzles, feel free to leave them down below, or if you have any questions in general, And if you're interested in purchasing any of them, I will link you down below to thecubicle.us. Feel free to use my discount code of JKC to get 5% off your order. But I will see you all in the next video. Bye.